All right, we are recording, so you guys can share this with your team later on. So, actually,
I've got a question, Shawn.
all right, Matt, shoot.
So something I'm wanting to work on right now is building a website. Is there a platform that's proven to be the best or most effective?
It's funny that you actually asked that question. My fiance Tara, she's actually on the call today. She's done 2 websites. It depends how extent you want to go. I know, Tara. What do you use? You're gonna have to unmute yourself. What is it? Is it Wiki? I think you use that you put it together.
It's that Wix.com.
Wix.com. That's
But
right.
isn't that only for PC?
I don't know.
That we don't know. It may be, but I'm not sure.
I can help you with that. Basically, it's an open platform. You can do it on Mac. You can do it on PC. It's not a software that you download directly into your computer, so you can pretty much use that. But that particular question was already answered previously. I think Scotty answered it himself. Melanie Mitro, what she uses as Blogger is completely free, and there are many tutorials on YouTube that you can use, and they're very simple to follow.
Perfect. So, Martin, yeah, there are a couple. Tara's done hers, and she also did my other coach's, Trevor. But if you're looking to pay, you can pay too. So it all depends on what you want to do, right? I've got Jessica Stanberry. She's done my website. I still haven't launched it yet because there's so much that I need to add to it. But if you're looking for something to start off with, that's very basic, you can do the Blogger, like Chris was saying, or you can do Wix, which is www.wix.com. And there's templates, so it's very easy for you to set up. If you play with it, you probably have your website up in a couple days. I think Gina Hunter actually used the same thing with Wix.com. So if you want to check that out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that right on top.
And it's actually pretty fun. I watched Tara work on her too, and she's never done one before, and she put it together, and she did a fantastic job. So if you spent a little bit of time on it, you guys would be able to grow your website, no problem.
I have another question. I assume that you've got your Success Club referrals. I've just had 2. They are not yet responding to me. I'm wondering, have you had to chase yours, or have they responded immediately? And if they didn't respond, how did you chase them?
Okay, so when you say that, is that a customer referral, or does it say Success Club referral?
I had both.
Okay, the Success Club referral, you don't really have to do anything, because when they are Success Club, that means they're going to buy something, or they already have. If you're unsure, check in your orders, your customer orders, and their name should show up. Usually, if you get a Success Club lead, they've already bought something. If it's a customer order, you guys can, what we do or what I do is I have an email template that I send out to them, and I also text them because you can get their number with their information when you get that customer info on Beachbody. And if you feel comfortable enough, quick text saying, listen, I'm just doing a follow-up. I sent you an email. I have been assigned a Beachbody coach, and I'd like to talk about your goal, right? But I do that after I send out the initial email, not to overwhelm them or anything. But I'll be honest, guys, when it comes to those leads, I think I've maybe talked to 3 people over the last year from those. So whether they just don't feel comfortable talking to someone new or whatever, absolutely try and reach out, but don't get discouraged if they don't answer, because the chances are they're not going to answer. In my experience anyway, someone else might have had different experiences, but I still continue to do it, because you never know when that customer will become a challenger later on, right? Because they are under you. What you do with it.
Sit.
Is that a question, or is someone just using?
Shawn, can you do me a favor? Can you mute everyone? Because there are a few people that are not muted. For example, the ones that are on the cell phone, they cannot mute themselves.
Okay. Yeah, as long as they can unmute themselves after. after I mute them, then yeah, we're okay with that. Okay, cool. So if you got a question, just unmute yourself, guys. Hopefully someone unmutes themselves, so I'm not talking to myself. So does that answer your question, Barton?
It does.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? Next question. Anything, something.
Hey, Jay, I see that you're down there. I'd love to know what you did the past to get your Success Club 10 so quickly.
Who were you asking that to?
It's Jay Teagues.
Jay Tiggs. I want to hear that too because I'm at Success Club 12 and I want to know how he did it so quick. How quick did he do it? Or is he?
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go, man.
Okay, sorry. It's the first time I've used this thing. Or at least on my phone anyway. Well, yeah, I've been a coach for a month. I just hit Success Club 10. Basically, I've got a 21-day fixed challenge group starting on Monday. I sold 5 challenge packs, and I have 5 coaches. They're all discount coaches. But it was pretty easy to do. I'm in the military here at Fort Leonard Wood. And with the military program, it's really easy to get people to sign up as a coach. I just got to convince them to stay on. And I'm hoping I can do that through the 21-day challenge group I got going.
Well, then you guys got something in common because Barton, you do the same thing, right? You're in the military also.
I do.
Right. So you guys are kind of in the same boat. It's easy to sign them up as coaches, but it's harder to keep them going. So you guys just tell them what's up. When it comes to, maybe you can share, Jay, when it comes to you signing, because you're 5 for 5, right? 5 challengers, 5 coaches. How did you get them to be discount coaches? Maybe you can share with everybody. And I'm just going to explain why I want you to share this. When you sign up a coach, if you get a coach on each side of your legs, you're automatically an Emerald coach, okay? I have coaches that struggle with that. They don't really understand the concept. But if you can get those 2 coaches, with discount coaches or not, on each leg, you're already at your first rank. So, Jake, do you mind sharing how your process went with the team to sign them up as discount coaches?
Well, basically, I've been posting some messages and whatnot, kind of passive aggressively advertising my challenge group. I did an unboxing of the challenge pack that a lot of people actually watched on my Facebook feed. I was kind of surprised how many people actually watched it and how many people messaged me even days after, maybe a week after. I would get a message here and there asking about the challenge pack. I've got a few people that just haven't quite committed to it, but it is promising knowing that people are actually watching me and my videos and doing that. So I'm basically kind of taking a playbook of what Scotty's doing and just trying to utilize social media. And I think when people see someone that they know and trust talking about the products, I think that's kind of helped. So it's definitely piqued some interest. And then once they decide that they want to do the challenge pack, I just sent them the link. I used that Fit Simple link, the coach links, and I just sent them the process to try to make it as easy as possible for them. So click on the link and sign up. And once they do that, have a message me, and then I send them the information. So far, it's been pretty simple. Giving up their social security number. I've had 2 people really concerned about that. And then I've had a few people that are just kind of even leery about the price of $160 for the challenge pack. But the ones that did sign up had really no issues. But I still got a few people out there that are kind of contemplating it. So
right.
That's my challenge, is to come the cost objection.
Right. And if they don't go right now, that just means they're not ready yet. That's all that is. You might not get them this month, but yeah, absolutely. If you don't get them now in 2-3 months, I guarantee they're going to come around. it's if someone's ready to begin their own transformation, price is not an objection. If they are truly ready to go, it's not an objection. Usually, it's an objection when either one, they're not ready, or two, we as coaches have not showed enough value to the product or what we do or how we can help others. And how you get that is building trust, like you said, as well as showing more value, and that will just come over time with consistency. Um, the more people you help, the easier it is to help other people because they see what you're doing with everybody else. And if you guys look at Scotty, that's what he's done. He spent the last 4 years doing it, right? So when he's hitting 20, 30 Success Club points, it's because he has helped so many people and people trust that he knows what he's doing. So we all have to take that into ourselves, is if we're consistent, then we're going to be at the same level as he is, right? And I'm proof of that. I'm not 5, 7, 9 star yet, but with consistency, you guys are seeing me grow, right? So if I can do it, you guys can do it. And I'm doing exactly what you just said. I'm just following what Scotty's doing. I'm just following his leads. He's got way more videos than I do, but I follow his consistency, and I follow his leadership when I'm leading my team. So if you guys do the same thing, you will get there. It's just a matter of time. It's consistency and time, and that's it. There's no big secret. If you guys show up every day, you guys can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. We got another question out there?
And next year we'll be in that trip.
Hell yes. Yes, we will. I said it already. I will not miss another one of those trips. I hate seeing all these posts with fireworks and Shawn T and us not there. But next year we will, if you want it, it's yours. How many guys are going to Summit? Has everybody signed up for Summit yet? You can just put up your hand if you haven't, or you have. I'm going to Summit. Tara's going to Summit. Who else is going to Summit? We got a few. Okay.
But I'm doing my first Super Saturday.
That's fantastic. Where's your Super Saturday?
In Toronto.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
that's like a nice thing, and I'm taking a girl that was a past challenger, and she's taking her neighbor, and so it's a good thing.
That's a great thing, because I'll tell you what, that's how my fiance Tara started. She always saw that I was doing Beachbody, but she never really understood what I did. And she went to her first Super Saturday in September, and she fell in love with it. She fell in love with it right then and there. She became a coach. She was Emerald in 48 hours, and it was all because of Super Saturday. So take advantage of that. Take as many people as you can to it, because you never know what will come out of it, right? You can be instantly growing your team, because if the Super Saturday is done right, you will take value away from it. So take as many people as you can. And if you're not going to Summit, think about it. There's still rooms available on
When is it?
block. It is July 16th to the 20th, I think. 17th to the 20th.
A birthday gift.
There you go. But I'm serious. If you have not been there, this is going to be the first one that I've gone to. But everybody I've talked to, it's game changing. Okay, like it truly is game changing for your business. If you are doing this for a business, sign up and find a way to get there. Scotty still has rooms available. There's still tickets available. There's going to be 20,000 coaches there, not 5 like they have in Cancun. 20,000 coaches. So
do you have to go by yourself, or can you invite your spouse?
you can invite your spouse. You just have to purchase 2 tickets. So yeah, if you're not going, try and figure it out. I encourage all of you guys to be there. Do we got another question out there? Somebody? Anybody?
I have a question about Summit. If I couldn't go for the whole time, is there like the first 2 days, the middle 2 days? What would you suggest?
I can't elaborate on that. I haven't been there, so really the way it works, Wednesday, people are landing. Thursday is like the kickoff. And then a lot of the workshops, my understanding, are probably Friday and Saturday, but don't quote me on that. And then everybody starts to depart on Sunday, right? So if you can only go a couple days, I would try to make it for the Friday and Saturday. That's what I would say, but don't quote me on it. I haven't been there. If someone else has been there already and you guys can throw some info on this right now, then go ahead. But or there we go. Tim has actually posted in the chat there. You guys can just go to Summit, coachsummit2015.com, and it'll give you everything. But that's what I would do. If you can't make it for the full amount, go for at least a Friday or Saturday. That's when everything's really going to happen, I think.
Hey, Shawn.
Yep.
Hey, something that you talked about before in our guys group was that new message system that you've set up for your invite. I found that extremely helpful if you're interested in at least sharing the concept with the group.
That was my 5-step invite?
Correct.
How many people are actually using the 5-step invite or even know what a 5-step invite is? Show of hands, just so I can kind of see. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try this. Who does not know what the 5-step invite is? Okay, I got 1, 2, 3. I'm just flipping through 3, 4, 5. Okay, the 5-step invite. I am going to post it in the comments in Team Dynasty. If you want it, if you want my personal one, because I've actually tweaked it, just message me. Send me a message to my inbox, and I will give you the full copy of what I use. Beachbody's come up with a 5-step invite process, everything from the cold, hard invite to personal invites through social media. It gives you a bunch of questions to ask, and it actually tees off every level of inviting in the 5-step invite. It's hard for me to talk about, but if you guys are not using a 5-step invite, it's going to change your business, because chances are if you're not using that, you're not inviting. And this really makes it very simple for you guys to start talking to people through messaging and social media, which is really going to change your business. And let me tell you something. When I started in July, so like I said, I was a coach for a year before that. I didn't send out a single invite. I didn't do anything. Anything that I did, they came to me, and that was that. When I started doing my invites, I was Success Club 20 4 months in a row. July, August, September, October, and I haven't missed 10 since. And I've had as high as I hit 38 in February. But that's all invites. I didn't get everybody to sign up at that point in the invite, but those invites were my seeds planted for future months, right? For example, like in February, every invite I sent, I didn't get a single challenger out of that. I got almost 20 challengers from the past ones that I've done. So November, December, January post invites. That's where all those people came from. So if you guys want, you guys can send me a message, or I will put it in Team Dynasty under files, and you guys can actually use. I'm just looking at those questions. Sorry, I got tied up. So yeah, send me a message, or I will actually put my exact invite into Team Dynasty to help you guys. And if you follow it, it works. I know it works. You're not going to get everybody off of it, but it does work. I have proof of that. So thanks for bringing that up, Martin. Tia, how many invites do I do a day? It depends. Like February, I had a goal of doing 20 a day. I don't suggest that. It's very hard to follow up. Fontaine Hunter is actually my success partner, and we had a goal for February, and we always say Success Club 10 is the norm, right? You got Success Club 5 or you got Success Club 10. But that month, Fontaine and I discussed, well, why is that the norm? Why can it not be higher? Why are we stopping at 10, right? Because usually I stop at 10 and I coast for the rest of the month. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to get 10 next month. But what I want to prove to myself is I could do more than 10 if I worked hard at it. So starting off the month, I did 20 invites a day. It was really hard to do all those follow-ups. You actually start to lose people unless you have a really, really good organization tracking for your follow-ups. And I was losing people left and right because I would message one person and I get to another one and I forget about this one person. So to be honest, guys, if you guys can start off, if you're not doing it right now, do 2 to 5. The key is the follow-up, right? If you guys can do 2 to 5 invites a day, and if you're finding that you're falling behind, then just back up. You can do 1 or 2 a day. It's not going to matter. Like you're working on, if you're doing 2 to 5 a day for 7 days, you're working on 35 people if you're at 5 people, right? That's a ton of follow-up. And these conversations aren't quick, right? If anybody's doing this, you know the conversations aren't quick. So if you need to take a step back, then take a step back and work one-on-one with the people you have contacted, right? Because you might not get them now, but you will get them in the future. I promise you that. I just had a girl sign up 2 days ago. I invited her over a year ago, and finally she came to me and said, I'm ready to go, right? So every time you invite, it's planting a seed. That's exactly what you're doing. A lot of you don't know this, so I'm going to share this also. Not everybody sees your posts, okay? If you've got, for example, let's say you have 300 people on your friends list, okay? Not everybody sees your posts in their news feed. Now, what inviting does actually opens that up into their news feed. You've made a connection, and now they see your transformation pictures, or your coaching invite, or you're talking about a product, or you're talking about your family. All that stuff is going to show into their news feed now because you've actually made a connection with them. But if you have no connection, they don't see what you're doing. Facebook has it where they only place certain people in news feeds, and that's how you connect with people. So if you're connecting and you're inviting, you're establishing into their news feed. So think of that. Question?
Also, you will start seeing their feed in your news feed, which will help you keep in touch, and you can do nice little deposits back into their lives. So that helps.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's when you take advantage of commenting on people's pictures, commenting on their statuses, liking their statuses. You just want to think big picture, right? Beachbody is not about the now. It's really not. And I learned that the hard way. Beachbody is about future, right? We're trying to help people right now, but the way the business works, unless the person trusts you and you know them really well, it's someone that's going to come to you in the future. And that's what you want to do, is you want to build your consistency to get those customers in the future, in the 2 to 3 months. That's what's going to happen. We got a few more people that jumped on.
Yeah. Here's an interesting thing regarding the views of your posts, of them showing up in the feed of other people. You need to get likes, because if you post constantly, for example, and you do it, let's say, during the span of a week, and nobody likes it, or very few people like it, only their circles are going to see it. That's why at one point in one of the mastermind groups, we had a post that was pinned to the top with the groups of every coach, so that we would like the post every day, so they would show in the feeds of the other people. So if you could do that and get, let's say, an accountability partner to get them to like your post and you like their post, that will help you show up in the feeds of the people that you add on your Facebook.
Chris is absolutely right. And if you guys think about some of the posts that Scotty makes, or even some of the posts that I make, Scotty does a lot of videos, because for one, with a video, not a YouTube link, but a video. Someone's just going away on a treadmill over there. There we go. If you post a video rather than a YouTube link video, you can actually see how many people are seeing your video, and it tells you the views. But how many guys have seen Scotty's pants on with no hands video? Okay, 81,000 views on that video. 81,000 views. And why did that happen? Because people liked it, people shared it. Scotty doesn't have 81,000 coaches. So those aren't all of them. It's like Chris said, they're friends of friends and networks of friends. And that's how we got all those videos, right? So that's just kind of adding to what Chris said, because that's what he did. You can post, like I'll do it once in a while, post the fourth picture on your phone, right? Then people are adding pictures to your comments. That's the same thing as getting a like. You're trying to get shares and you're trying to get likes. And what that does, a lot of people are like, Shawn, how do you add so many people? You're expanding your network that way, right? I'm not always adding. People are adding me also. But it's posts like that that people tend to see what you're about. And they're more likely to add you as a friend. And that's what you want to do, right? You can invite as many people to be your friend, but at the end of the day, you want them to invite you to be their friend, right? That's when you're really going to make that connection. So great point, Chris. Thanks for bringing that up.
But here's something else. Now, thank you. Here's something else that now that you mentioned the videos, and I just remembered, if you have a Facebook page, very well, you can see the people that actually click on the video and everything. One thing I noticed, if you upload pictures, people are not going to interact with it so much because the picture is already there. They're not going to click it. They're not going to see it. They're not going to be tempted. But the videos that I've uploaded, I only have like 150 likes or something like that on my page. Whenever I now upload a video, I can see I reach 500 people, 1,000 people, 2,000, and I'm like, where these people come from? And that's one thing. Create something that forces them to actually click on it, to be curious, not a picture. Try videos. That's why Scotty always says, like, put yourself out there. And the best way to do it is with a video.
Yeah, he's absolutely right.
But that's because Facebook, the algorithm or whatever, Facebook gives more value to video than anything else. So that's why.
That's right. And the reason why is because they're not allowing enough people to see your post with your likes page. Facebook makes money off your advertisement, and that's why you see that boost button on your posts. But Chris is absolutely right. And I know this firsthand because I did this the other day. I posted a video on my like page. I have 900 people on my like page. But when it comes to pictures, 30, 40 maybe reached, if that, sometimes 12, right? But the video I posted, I had over 900 people reached for just the video itself. So he's right. If you can add videos and add value to the video, then you're going to touch more people. So that's a great point when it comes to your like pages. And it's something I'm starting to play with more because I didn't realize that until I saw that amount reached. And it's like, I'm onto something here, because the pictures weren't doing anything at all. So no problem, Kristen.
Here's something else for you. This I'll probably post it, but if you guys wanna look it up. Something that Scotty showed me to teach me how to deal with social media. Since when I started, I was in Dominican Republic, so in USA I knew nobody. Now I know a few people. He showed me a video from Instant Presenter. Let me look it up real quick. From Miguel Carrasco, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
let me see if
he's done one too. Yeah.
Yeah, he has it on YouTube. It's called Top Social Media Tips for Beach Body Coaches. Look it up. That's how I learned to deal with social media, how to do the videos, the Facebook page, and everything like that. Check it out. That would actually answer probably any question that you might have about Facebook.
If you guys are unsure who Miguel is actually the #1 coach in Canada. He was last year. This year he stepped back a little. He's still a #1 coach. Just not rank wise, but he's taken a step back. He's part of the Canada Market Council, and he's helping all us leaders in Canada. So check him out. He's just as important to watch as Scotty is, or Lindsay is, or Melanie Mitchell. The guy is on fire. He's actually he's reached out to me a few times also. So if you're looking to learn, those are 4 people you can watch: Lindsay, Melanie Mitro, Scotty, obviously, and Miguel. Miguel is very good with his videos also, and he's got some great stuff on some training for you guys to check out. And you guys can just check it out on his YouTube also. I'm very down to earth too. If you ever need to send him a message, if he's got the time, he'll reach out to you. What else we got?
Hey, I can share that. So today I was able to be on a phone call with Carl Dankler because I did my Success Club in my first 30 days.
Yeah, buddy.
And he shared that on the 25th, if everyone will go to the on-demand and do the sweat exercise during anytime during the 25th, he's going to donate money towards, I believe it was the Navajo Nation, towards saving water. The rest of the world has built up around them, and now they have no water. And anyway, he's gonna. If everyone will do sweat on demand on the 25th, he'll donate money.
And if you guys have noticed, Carl's really good with that stuff. Beachbody's such a just. If you guys are new coaches and you're unsure, stick around for a while, guys. Like Beachbody is gonna blow your mind. I'm not gonna lie to you. The first 6 months is hard, guys. It really is hard. But I promise you, if you guys are consistent with what you're doing and what you're going after, it will become your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because you know what? We're sitting here. None of us know each other, right? Like I've got a couple of coaches on my team on the call, but like Chris and I don't know each other. Right, Bart and I, like personally, we don't know each other. But I'll tell you what, the bond is greater. I guarantee you, when we meet each other in Summit after calls like this, we're gonna be best friends. It's gonna be like we've known each other for years, right? That's what Beachbody's all about. Yes, we're helping the end the trend of obesity, but we're growing ourselves. Like we're growing our minds. We're growing relationships with like-minded people. Like it's crazy. Like Tiara and I were part of a Beachbody Cup like last year, right? And she's still rocking it, and I'm still rocking it. And I see so many new faces, and I'm watching people grow left and right. And just stick with it. Stick with it. The first 6 months is the hardest, and it's only the hardest because you're out of your comfort zone. That's what makes it hard. But if you're consistent with it and you go for it and you lead by example, and you go with what Scotty's showing you guys, or even what your coaches are showing you, and you're listening to other people, and doing what they're doing, you will have success. There's no secret to this. It's just consistency. That's it. If there's one thing you're going to take away from Beachbody, just be consistent. Whether it's business or whether it's your own personal workouts. Like, get on the call, get on the treadmill, and rock the elliptical. Right? that's what it's all about. Absolutely, thumbs up. So just be consistent. What else we got? Any other questions?
I think I might have an interesting one for you. We were talking about follow-ups and contacts. One thing that has always bothered me, even while doing some other MLMs before, is getting to contact in cold contacts. How do you usually deal with those? The ways I've done it, sometimes they yield results, sometimes they don't. So I want to know if you have an effective way that gives you the best results.
Yeah. Okay, so you're talking about cold. So your warm market is people that are in your current network, like your friends and family, like people you actually know, right? So the cold market are people outside of that, in case you guys don't know what that is. That's where the inviting comes from, right? That's where forming comes in. You guys can send out an initial invite. What I like to do is, because I get people from my like page that add me as a like just person to person rather than just like company based. And my very first comment to them is, thank you for the ad. Are you into health and fitness as well? Right? So that kind of breaks the ice. I'm not talking, you want to be a challenger? Okay, let's go 21-day fix. I'm not doing that. But what I'm doing is I'm breaking that ice, and I want to see what they're about, right? And I've tried a few different things. I've tried sending them a cold invite as soon as they add me, and that doesn't go anywhere. At the end of the day, it doesn't happen, right? But what I found with opening up with that statement, are you into health and fitness also? You have a better chance of a response, right? They'll either say, I'm not, and I'm looking to get into it, or they'll say, yes, I am I'm in love with it, right? It's an icebreaker. But that being said, I've got over 3,000 people on my friends list, and I probably only know 100 of them. Okay, and that's where the inviting comes in. Initial invite. And you guys will see it when I post it to the group. There's nothing like, it's not. I've had one person that said, hey, you offended me with that invite, right? And that just happened yesterday. I had someone come up to me and say, hey, you offended me with that invite. And I said, well, I apologize for that. And if you didn't like it, I'm sorry, but you can delete me. Don't respond to me, right? This is my business. And I got out of the mindset a long time ago. I'm putting out there because I'm trying to help people. And if they want to get offended by that, I'm okay with you getting offended. If you don't like my posts, there's an unfollow button or there's a delete button. But it's not going to stop me doing from what I love. There are people that want our help, and there are a lot of people that are afraid to ask for help. So all the invites that I've done, I've gotten some pretty good response. I haven't got very many negative responses. So to answer that for your cold invite, when I post it to the group, you'll see the invite that I do. It's just a quick little paragraph. It's very plain, very simple. You can try that, Chris, and see if it works for you. And everything I've done in that invite, there's a 5-step invite you can get right from Beachbody. That Carl.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
Okay, that Carl's done up. Okay, and I've just kind of tweaked it a little bit to my taste, right? So it's the same basis, but I've added a few different things. Some things I found don't work. Some things I found do work. And I've just kind of added my own spin to it. But to get out of the comfort zone of inviting people, use it. Because then you're going to find, you'll get to the point that I'm at that, okay, I don't have to do step 3 because I know they're ready now, right? And you'll get that through experience of doing the invite over and over and over again. Then you're just going to start to know how people think and how people are going and what the end result will be. No one says you have to go through all 5 steps. Some you will get going on step 1, right? Some will be step 2. Some you might get to number 5 and you'll have to go through objections, right? But you'll never know that unless you start the process somewhere. And everybody is afraid to hit send. I'm the first one to say that. I didn't do it for a whole year, right? But what I got out of that was in July of last year, I hit send and it got easy. And I hit send again. And there was one night I was having fun with hitting send. I got over 60. That's a whole lot of sends. Okay. So like I had fun with it. And then I started, I'm like, wow. Okay. So this person said no. And you know what I said to myself? Okay, now it's a game. Because now I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to figure out, okay, so there's an objection. How am I going to make this fun for me? They're already going to say no, but what can I learn from it? And all that's done is just made me stronger, and it's got me out of my head when it comes to invites, right? That's the biggest thing people have problems with is hitting send. But I promise you, if you do 20, 40, 60 consistently, you don't have to do it all in the same day like I did. You can do it over 2 weeks. But if you do 5 a day, you will get over that fear, okay? John Jerd, our last mail call, he said, you know what? I have a problem with sending those invites. It's out of my comfort zone. You should have saw him on the call. I'm afraid. I just don't like it. I'm uneasy. And I said, you know what? Wake up. Very first thing, hit send twice. That's it. Copy, paste, send. You don't have to overthink it. The wheel's already invented, right? The wheel's already invented. You guys just got to do it. And you know what? The next morning, I woke up 9 o'clock. Yes, I get to sleep in right now because of my hip. But 9 o'clock, I had a message waiting for me. Boom, done. 2 invites done. He was happy. He was all caps and stuff. If he would have been right beside me, he would have been high-fiving. Send is the hardest thing for anybody to do, but I promise you, if you're consistent with it, you'll get good at it.
And there's a lot of people afraid to ask you, and they're waiting for you to send that invite, I found, because even I was in 2 years, and I quit since November. Now I'm back. And I have people messaging me, I've been waiting for you to talk to me. And it's just like afraid of hitting send, afraid of making that approach.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, people don't, it's not rocket science, guys. It's what I have done in the last 9 months. Yeah, it's been stressful. And my coach has asked Benita. Benita was my very first diamond. Every Thursday, I was like, hey, this is what happened last night. We need to fix this. We got a week to fix it, right? But it's because I wasn't used to it. It's something out of my comfort zone. If you guys are consistent with everything that you do, you're going to be great. Like, honestly, Scotty says it all the time. He goes, I believe in you guys. And there's a reason why he believes in you, because he knows the process works. You guys are here for a reason. You guys you're on this call for a reason. We're on a Thursday and I'm a nobody, and you guys are all here trying to learn something, right? So to me, that shows that you guys want this as bad as I want this. Get up and press send. If you're not doing the 5-step invite, start copying my post as soon as I post it, and try it tonight and see the response. And if I'm wrong, send me a message. But I guarantee you I'm not wrong. Absolutely I'm not, because I've done it.
So I have a question.
Shoot.
All right, so I have been doing that, sending that out. And then I realized that maybe I hadn't really reconnected enough before to warrant that, hey, I'm doing a challenge group. I'm looking for a couple people who are, So I've spent the last month sending, like you're saying, those 30 mass emailing, just, hey, hello, this is going to be Easter. Hope you have a good one with your family. Or, hey, hope you're enjoying this warm weather. It's been a long winter. Or, hey, hello. And so I've had, every day it's like, oh, hi, thanks for thinking of me. So it gives me constantly an opportunity. I'm not doing well as SCs this month, but my God, I'm constantly connecting with people, talking and all that. And that's going to just be for next month or the one after. I thought that it was important for me to go back to my basic 3 vital behaviors and just really concentrate on those things. And that's my goal. So I'm still going to be doing those challenge group invites, but I felt like it was important for me to connect on a personal level before I would do that.
And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You get better response from people that you have connected with. Okay, that's how Melanie does it. It's how Lindsay does it. When you're forming people, that's where the word form comes in, right? It's because you're talking about family, you're talking about occupation, and what they do for recreation, and then you're sending them the message, right? So with you doing stuff like that, like Happy Easter and just reconnecting like that, that's what you should be doing, because that's how you get that connection, okay? But on the flip side, if you're anything like me, having 3,000 people and I don't even know more than 100 of them, sometimes forming that is tough. But there's other ways to do it too. You guys have a column on the right side every day that pops up birthdays. Send everybody a birthday wish. Everybody, whether you know them or not. If they're on your list and it's their birthday, send them a message and tag them in it. Make sure their name is highlighted so they see it, right? That's part of, if you guys are using your bat, I don't know how many people are using the bat. This has been always a big struggle for me, but I've been using it pretty consistently. Add that to your bat list of sending out those birthday wishes, because it's the same thing as saying Happy Easter. You're connecting with them, right? And then they're going to start seeing who you are and what you're doing, whether you know them or not. Send them that happy birthday. Chris, you got a question? You got your hand up?
I was actually going to stop Liz. The questions were related. You were talking about John, and he mentioned something about not inviting before you make the connection, but getting a follow-up to that. We depend on social media, some of us or most of us, but what happens if there is a person that doesn't have social media? How do you actually add value to that person? How would you do that?
I personally, I don't do very much out of social media. But on the flip side, there are some of you that do. Like I know Barton is not big on social media right now. Right now, this is what he's working on, right? But he is very face to face with the people that he's been inviting, people that he's talking to, right? Um, maybe Barton, you want to elaborate on how you do that? Now, is that what you're meaning, Chris? Before we get off topic, is that what you're meaning, like connecting face to face, or without like?
Not necessarily face to face, like anything that is outside of social media. Like, how would you add value to that particular person? Like, when you're on social media, yeah, you can talk to them, you can show them pictures, you can give them links, you can take them to your challenge groups and support groups. But how do you add value in such a way that whatever you offer is accepted without, let's say, not many rebuttals? So
okay, so how are you meeting these people? How are you meeting these people that are not on social media? Are these just people that you know, or they're their friends? Okay, so yeah, Barton kind of runs into the same thing that you've been dealing with too, right?
Yeah, so I could share my experience, but I think what he's asking specifically, for example, I have 2 people, they've bought challenge packs, but they're doing Body Beast, and they do not use social media. So although they're actively using Body Beast, I have zero connection with them to encourage them, help them, support them, because they're doing it on their own. I think that's what Chris is asking about.
Well, okay, that actually sounds pretty cool, but what about before you get them into a program? How would you actually add value into their lives without social media? That's a tricky question.
Yeah, no, that's when you ask, that's a whole different world. That's where forming really comes in. Now you've already have a connection outside of social media, okay? So social media is on the sidelines when you're talking to these people. That's when you have a better opportunity than we do on social media. And I say that because you're already talking to that person. There's a reason why that person's talking to you already, right? So it's like Tiara said, if you guys are reading personal development, all you have to do when it comes to people is ask questions, right? Ask questions about their family. Ask questions about their job, about their life. Be sincere. If you don't want to hear the answer, don't bother asking the question. I'll tell you that right now, because they'll read right into it. But if you're going to be compassionate enough to actually talk to them about something in their life, then take the time to listen, and you're gonna pick up on things, right? Let's say you have the conversation with somebody and you're talking about family, and then all of a sudden he goes, I get home and I just don't have enough energy for my kids. Boom. What are you going to start talking about? Well, you know what? I do this workout and I was in the same point that you've been in, but now I have a lot more energy because now I can play with my kids because I've trained myself with the exercise and so forth, that now I have more energy to play with my kids, right? So you have to ask the questions. At the end of the day, that's how you're showing value. You have to be compassionate enough to actually listen to them. And if you can't do that, then don't bother asking the questions, because they're gonna know you're just not into it, right? But personal development's huge. It's like Scotty said. Scotty's reading 52 books a year, right? And there's a reason why he does that, because every conversation he has with somebody, he's able to pull something from a book and show value to their lives from that book. Okay. And that could be anything. That's, for example, like that's the speaker that we're having, focus on the 90% of Darcy Lang. Trevor, one of my coaches, and I were having a talk about his staff the other day. And he was having a problem with his staff. They're always negative. And I said, listen, Trevor, something I've learned is when people go to work is an escape from life, okay? If they're having a problem at their job, it might not be job related that they're having a problem with. They could be having a problem at home. Maybe they are having relationship issues. Maybe they're having problems with their kids, right? Where do you take that? You're taking to the job because it's weighing so much on you. So what I told Trevor was focus on the 90%. Be compassionate, take a step back, and actually ask them the question, are you okay? Right? And this is how you're showing value, because you're showing the true you. You're not being fake. You're actually asking them a question. You want to know about their lives. Whether it will lead into a Beachbody product or not, it may never, right? But you're showing value to them as an individual because you're taking the time to listen to them. Everybody wants to talk. A lot of people are afraid to talk. I hope that answers your question.
So, Shawn, that kind of feeds in a little bit to what I do, and so I'll answer your question. So I have gotten all of my people so far on personal connections. In fact, today was my very first day. I've had someone reach to me through social media. She's a family member nonetheless, but all of I brought 9 people into my organization, and all of them have been direct personal contact. And so what I have at work is I have 2 bags of Shakeology sitting behind me on my desk. Now, I'm in the Army. I'm a chief warrant officer. Everyone knows chief. Everyone goes to chief to ask the questions and talk. So everyone comes into my office. They have people flowing in all day long.
Hello.
That's my son. So I have 2 bags of Shakeology. I have a strawberry and I have a chocolate sitting behind me as they walk into my room. So everyone immediately always asks, what is that? And it gives me the opportunity to automatically start talking about Shakeology. And then I'm passionate, and so I start going off on it. Well, then I have double screens, and as they're talking to me about Shakeology, now they can see that I have P90X as my screensaver and as my background. So no matter what, they're going to see P90 on my screens. As they're sitting there looking at my P90 and they're seeing my Shakeology, I'm talking about exercise, I'm talking about Shakeology, they look up on my whiteboard, and now they see they see invite, 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 do PD, and third one escapes me all of a sudden. Nonetheless, everything's out there, everything's available to talk about, and I talk about it no less than 10 times a day. I keep waiting for my boss to come in and tell me I have to stop.
I was going to say, Barton's going to get fired.
You can't get fired out of the Army very easily, but I'm about to be the first one, I'm sure.
Well, it's either you're going to get fired or you're going to retire from it. Either way, you're working hard towards one of them.
Well, that's how I've done my business, and word is going mad through my building, and everyone's interested in what Chief's got in his office. And then now I've also, just this past week, I went and bought the Shakeology shaker drinks. So the very first thing that they see as they walk in is the Shakeology shaker drink sitting on the corner of my desk. So it's just product placement, for lack of better words, throughout my office, and it works every single day.
That's all it is. That's all it is. What other questions do we have? Somebody.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Totally off topic. I set my mom up as a coach because she really needed to get on Shakeology, and now she's doing Slim in 6, and she's losing weight, and she's participating. So she gives me a little grief about the cost of Shakeology, so I need to sign some people up under her. And how do I go about doing that? How do I explain to some person, oh, I'm going to sign you up under my mom?
I've got the answer for that, Laura, if you don't mind.
Okay. No, go ahead.
So I have 9 people, but when you look at my organization, I've just made Ruby. That's because I put 2 under my dad and I put 2 under my wife. They're my right and leg emeralds. I built them so that I could grow my business and meet my requirements to make the next levels. So although they're under my wife and although they're under my father, right or wrong, the picture that they see when they go to my dad is still my face. So they recognize the person, even though maybe not necessarily the name. And then those people are still in my business. I mean, in my challenge groups. And so they're still 100% interfacing with me. And I've even put the EFTs coming into my bank account. So the only thing that they see is a different name when they go on to who their coach is. But
Do
they
you
don't
tell
really
them that they're going to see the other name?
no. And frankly, they don't seem to care because they're in my challenge groups. They don't understand. In fact, all 4 of them are simply discount coaches. Currently, they have no interest in building, and so they don't care who they're under. They just like the product and they want to be in the challenge groups.
Okay.
If they do ask, you can just say it's just business purposes. I'm still your coach, but I have 2 business centers. I have my mom's and I have me. That's all it is. It's a business, and that's it. I've done it. Benita does it on her account. Like she to build. So in case you guys don't know, Benita is my diamond, my very first diamond, and she uses her husband. Okay, and she places people under her husband's account as well, right? So, and the same with Scotty. Gabby's got her account. Scotty places people under Gabby. Scotty's now placing people under his dad, right? But at the end of the day, you're the coach, and you can just be very frank with them and just say, you know what, it's business. That's all that is. I am your coach at the end of the day.
Should I just not say anything and wait for them to say something?
That's up to you. In my eyes, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because you're still their coach. It doesn't matter where they're placed as long as you're taking care of them. That being said, remember you're taking care of them. Don't forget about them if they're under your mom, right? Because as your business grows, your business is going to get huge. Remember you have that second business center, which would be in your case, your mom, right? So just make sure you don't forget about anybody.
I can help with that, Shawn.
Okay.
When I do my inviting, when I add on to Rob's team, what I tell them is that me and my husband build our business together, and that I am putting them on Rob's account, but I'm the active coach. So they have no worries about it then because we're building our business together.
Okay, that makes sense.
Go ahead, Chris.
I'll tell you something interesting that might put you at ease. If they are curious enough and they're doing this seriously, they won't even be bothered about having another name or signing directly under another coach because they will have investigated about the process. How do you actually line up your coaches? So they will understand immediately. And even if they're worried a little bit about that, I can tell you from my experience, I've been in MLMs for about 4 years back in Dominican Republic. That didn't even bother me because what I care about is the person that signed me up and doing what I have to do. That's it. So hopefully that helps.
Great answer, guys. What else? Joseph, you're quiet over there. John, you're quiet too. If you guys got some questions, bring them out, guys. That's what it's for, right? If I can't answer it, we got a whole team of coaches here. That's today's just brainstorming. You got something, just throw it out there.
Okay. You talk about having a like page. I have my personal page. So, what's the difference as far as trying to get people to add friends and invites?
All right, this is how I view it. Okay. When you're not doing the personal thing like Barton and Chris do, social media is a huge platform. Okay. Your main start is usually your personal page. Okay. So those are the people that you have in your network already. So in my eyes, that's your warm network. Okay. There's things that other coaches are doing for future stuff, or even it's their main source. For example, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Some people are doing Twitter. The like page, in my eyes, my like page is fueling my future. Okay, so when I run out of my warm network per se, I'm already branching out to my like page. Now my like page is drawing a crowd that isn't usually attracted to me. Okay, my like page is more business, right? So, for example, I don't recommend it, But you know how you're doing those product placements on your personal page sometimes? For me, my product placement goes to my like page, right? Just think of it, you got your personal page and you got your business page. That's probably the easiest way to define it in my eyes, right? My personal page is my personal page. I'll talk about family, I'll talk about fitness. I've got 5 things that I like to talk about on my personal page. When it comes to my like page, I talk business and I talk fitness, and that's it. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the time for that to build my network for when my warm network runs out, right? So that's where Scotty, like if you've done the mastermind training, that's why they say focus on 1, 2, no more than 3 things to build for your future. You want to be 6 months to a year ahead of the game, right? So if you're just doing your personal page, you want to decide to either, okay, well, I'm going to do a ton of videos and build my YouTube network, or I'm going to do Instagram and build that network, or I'm going to do a like page and build that network, right? It's just adding to your personal page, but you're building your network differently with a like page, because with your like page, you can do advertisement. Like you can pay for ads where you can't do that with your personal page. But your like page, you can do that, right? For example, you're running a challenge group. You can do a $25 ad that will run for 4 days, inviting people all over Facebook to your challenge group if you word it properly, right? That's what you can do with your like page. You can't do that with your personal page. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
All right. So for the first couple of months that I was a coach, my husband and I shared a Facebook profile. Just because I came into my family's life 7 years ago, I have stepkids, blah, 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 two worlds collide. We wanted everybody to, we had our reasons. But for everything that people have said, you need to have your profile, your personal profile page, and you need to have your face on your profile page, and that's very important. And you have to invite at least 2 people, new people a day on your personal page. And I'm like, wow, I can never do that because my husband was really quiet, you know, I didn't want to interact. So I have a like page as well. I have been, I have done like $1 a day. That's the minimum that you can do for ads. But it's very good because you can keep bringing people to your page. $1 a day is not going to kill you, and it keeps that momentum going. I have also done a promoted post using a share, like a quote with something that I've learned from personal development that like got tons of shares. And then let's say people connect, and you're like, oh, thank you for connecting with that. This is what I like. This is what I've learned. So you continue the discussion going. From that, I have not gotten anybody necessarily to further on, but I have grown my like page to like almost 500 in not a long time. But now I've decided to create my own personal profile page, and my goodness, I'm having a ton of fun because I'm like, you know what, balls to the wall. It's public. I'm liking any, because I've decided I want to focus on women. So I'm liking women that are my age or that are a little bit older or younger, whatever, and not liking, but like adding them as my friends. And I said, like, thanks for your ad. Thanks for adding me. I hope you're enjoying you have a stellar week. Hope you enjoy this great weather and have a great weekend. Then I start the conversation. I think this will never run out. Basically, I have a feeling that the Facebook profile thing is going to be wonderful. And what I'm planning on doing is just fleshing out content ideas on my Facebook profile, then grabbing all that and then condensing it into a blog. And then from the blog, because from what Melanie Micho has said in one of her things is that then you can either use it for your challenge group post that you've created, and then you post a link back to your blog or a video that you've created, or even you can put it on your Facebook page that links back to an owned media, because you want to make sure that you own your media, and having your website, your blog, and I think YouTube too, you probably own it more than you would if you just have tons of likes, because that doesn't get you anywhere in the end if Facebook ends up like Friendster.
Right. So at the end of the day, what she's doing is she's adding to her network, and that's what you guys want to think of it now. Okay, if you haven't planned that far ahead, think of it now. Because when you run out of your warm market, which you will, if you're not, even if you're adding 2 people a day, you're still going to reach that max one day, right? But if you concentrate on 1 or 2 other platforms, that's you opening up your network. Okay, so if you guys are not doing that, maybe sit back and think of what you want to do next, whether it's Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter,
But
or
get
blog, right?
emails, get people's emails, get people's phone numbers, get people, so because then otherwise, if Facebook ends up going dead, what are you going to do? You have all these people, but you don't have their actual. Well, how would you recommend that then? Using a form, a landing page.
My eyes, Facebook is a multi-billion-dollar company. It's not going anywhere.
Well, MySpace was pretty good for a while.
Yeah, but in my eyes, MySpace wasn't ahead of their time. MySpace was good. That's just like Nexopia back in the day. But Facebook's a whole different world.
Yeah, I know.
It's a multi-billion-dollar company. MySpace wasn't. Justin Timberlake bought MySpace and he hasn't done anything with it, right? So they're doing so. Yes, Justin Timberlake bought MySpace, and it didn't go anywhere. I don't know what he was thinking, but no, there's nothing wrong with getting phone numbers, absolutely, because you're forming. That's connecting, right? You're connecting with people. You're getting on more of a personal level, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I saw a question come up from Kristen, so I just wanted to answer that quickly because a lot of you don't know it. If you have a spouse that is signed up as a coach, no, you do not have to buy Shakeology. That is a myth, okay? You do not need 90 PV for your coach. You can do it with 50, okay? So that could be a 3-day refresh every month. That could be just signing up a customer under your spouse a month. It does not have to be personal volume. So if they want to hit Emerald rank, that's different. Then they have to have 90 PV. But just to have them underneath you so you rank up, you do not need 90 PV. All you need is 50 for them to stay active. Okay, so that's their business fee, which is for your guys is I think it's $15.95 for US. It's $16.95 I think for Canada. And then what I found is the 3-day refresh. If you don't have a customer signed up, you can buy the 3-day refresh with the 3 packets of Shakeology. That's their PV. You do not have to buy another bag of Shakeology unless you're going to rank them up to Emerald. Then once they hit Emerald, they have to have the 90 PV. So I just wanted to clear that up for Kristen. Hopefully that works out. How long could coaches? You have to have your 90 PV every month, right? Yeah. So whether it's if you're Emerald, you have to have 90 personal volume. That's where your Shakeology comes in. And so I think it's just the 30 days as long as you can hold it, right? Now, don't quote me on this. I'd have to look more into it because I've never tried not having Shakeology, but I've read that if you have customer PV at the same time, right, that might count as your 90 PV. I don't know if someone else can answer that because I've never been off Shakeology. I've either done Shakeology or I've done the Body Beast supplements. I've always had the 90 PV to make sure I was covered, right? But I've never been under custom orders of 100 PV either. So maybe that's something I can look into you guys for. Okay, so John, when you've done that, okay, if you guys haven't seen that, it says I've had them do it for 2 months at a time. John, were you still active during those 2 months that you were not on Shakeology?
Yeah, I've done it once when I was out of a job, and I stayed active. I made a couple other purchases, like I ordered E&E and a couple other things that I had to have, but.
Okay, so he was still active. He still had his personal volume of that 50 PV, right? So that goes back to what I was saying. But for you to actually put everything on hold, I have to double check. Don't quote me on it. But I think if you have a customer order go through that's got 90 PV, you're still okay. But don't quote me on that because I have to look into it more often. Again, I've never been in the situation that I've not been on Shakeology, right?
Yeah, that is true. I've done it before.
You've done it?
Yeah, I've been on hold because I couldn't afford to do it myself, and then customers purchased from me, and then it puts me back. It's 90 PV from your customers or you.
Now, let me ask you this. Were you an Emerald or just a coach at that time?
I was an Emerald.
You were an Emerald and you still kept your rank?
Yes, because I never lost my rank.
Okay.
For some reason, I think it's because the customers that Beachbody gave me for being Emerald and Success Club and stuff, they were not active and I couldn't contact them, but they kept buying things, so it kind of kept me floating.
Right, and that's where I'm unsure, because I think I've read somewhere that if you have a combined total of either a customer purchase or your own personal volume, as long as you're over 90 as an Emerald, then you stay an Emerald, right? I'd have to read into it, or you guys can check out the FAQ for that answer, just to make sure. But I've never been off Shakeology, so like I drink it daily. What else we got? I'll just go through these questions here.
Do you still have all of your original coaches?
Hell no. Hell no, I don't. Like I said, my first year, I hit Emerald my first year. I just signed a couple of people. None of my coaches that I have now were my original coaches. Not one of them. I went from moving up right back to zero. When I started in July, I had nobody. I had zero. But I went from, in July, I think I had 13 coaches by the end of July. Right, so I went from 0 to 13 in that time frame. But that's you're going to lose people. It's going to happen. Okay, you're going to lose challengers. You're going to have people that fall off. You're going to lose coaches. It's going to happen. It's part of the business. Yes, it sucks. It totally sucks. But at the end of the day, if you keep going for what you're going, it's not going to matter. Once it happens a couple times, you add more people. There's a saying that Eric Wars has always said. If you don't know who that is, he's one of MLM geniuses. If you're not where you want to be, add more people. That's it. That's all you got. That's the mindset you got to have. I'm not where I want to be. Add more people. Do whatever it takes to add more people, and you'll be exactly where you want to be. That's why Scotty has 18,000 coaches underneath his downline. He adds more people. That's it. Right? And the more we do it, the bigger our teams get. I would have never thought, like in my downline, I have over 600 people. I would have never thought that. My team alone, I have over 100, right? Like when I started this a year ago, I had no idea I would ever have that, right? But now I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand, because when you add people and they add people and they add people and more people, your team grows quick, like really quick. Like it's mind-blowing. Right? And then you hit your diamond, and then you hit 2-star diamond, 1-star diamond. You just start going, okay, so I got all these people. Now what do I do? Right? Like I'm still in that position. I work with my coaches all the time. I'm working with Trevor. I'm working with Benita and Tara. I'm like, okay, we got all these people, but how do we get them to where we are now? Right? That's the next challenge. Right? It's not getting the people to be coaches. It's what you do with them now. Right? And that's why, like I said, you're not reinventing the wheel. You can't force anybody to drink the water. You can only lead them to the water, right? That being said, Scotty has his mastermind groups like Chris has taken. I've taken the new coach to Emerald. I've done the new Emerald to Diamond. I've done Diamond to Star Diamond. I've done all the training. And my coaches, I've had some coaches do it 3-4 times, right? I can't make them do the training. I can call them out. My job is just to give them the tools. Right? And if they're not doing it, that's not my problem. Add more people. You're going to find those rock stars. You're going to find the Benitas, the Taras, the Trevors, right? My other coach that just 6-week qualification just finished, Diamond, Nicole. You're going to find them. The way you're going to find them right now for us, because we don't have that vast amount of coaches coming to us, discount coaches. Never underestimate a discount coach. And I say that because my very first Diamond, Benita, was a discount coach. She never knew she was going to fall in love with the process. And she has, right? And she's on her way to be 1-star diamond, because she has found a couple of rock stars on her team. So if you're not where you're at and people fall off, add more people. That's it. That's it. There's millions of people in this country, in both countries. There's millions. right? People are like, oh, it's saturated. No, it's not. It's such a myth, right? And Benita and I can see this. In Canada, there's over 18,000 coaches, and I'm number 25. I had 26 now. Terry's moved ahead of me, but it's only because I'm continue doing every day what I'm doing, right? What you guys don't understand is for in US 240,000 coaches, right? Nobody's on a call like this. Half of them are just sitting home doing nothing. Half of them don't have the leadership that we have. Half of them don't have the training that we have. So whenever you hear it's saturated, no, it's not. You got 10% doing what you guys are doing. That's it. 10% of what you guys are doing through the whole company, right? You guys being on this call makes you the top 5% already in Beachbody. That's what you got to put in your mind, because that's what you guys are. You guys are taking times away from your family, away from your jobs, away from your free time to build a business. That's 5% of all the coaches that are doing this kind of stuff right now. So I'm sorry, Benita, to cut you off. I was on a rant.
I know. I like those rants.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is just because you have to keep inviting, because just because they've talked to somebody about Beachbody doesn't mean they're going to say no to you when they've said no to them. Maybe they make the better connection with you, better connection to your story. I've had people that they've talked to Beachbody 3 or 4 times and they didn't connect with the person, so they didn't. I myself am one of them. Someone talked to me 4 times about Beachbody. Shawn was my 5th. He was the one I took because I connected with him and I connected with his story. So just because you think that somebody has already talked to them doesn't mean that you shouldn't invite them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and funny stuff. Now that you mentioned that, Scotty has about 18,000 coaches, right? That's what
in his
number
down.
is?
It
Okay.
might even be higher than that now. Like I want to say 23,000 for some reason, but the last number I heard was like 18. It's a whole lot of people. That's what it is, right? So
Well, let's take it from 18,000. Let's take it from 18,000 for a second. I want you guys to take your perspective. I don't know how many times you've been on these calls, but the max amount of windows that I have seen in the gallery view, it's about 4 pages out of 18,000 coaches. And you can count, we got 25 windows per page. Take that in consideration. Not everybody comes over here. And even on the instant presenter that they were using before, the maximum amount of people I saw connected was 400 out of 18,000. So believe it, the market is not saturated, even within the organization.
exactly. Because for example, just to put this in perspective for you guys, when I finished the year last year and you guys got to remember, in July is when I started. Last year I finished 2285 is what I ranked out of 240,000 coaches at that time. Now you guys got to remember, I did that in 7 months, right? And then last month, out of 250,000 coaches, I was ranked 293. Okay, so to be in the top percent, it's very simple. Hit Success Club. You hit Success Club 5, you're in the top 10%. You hit Success Club 10, you're in the top 5%. You hit Diamond, you're in the top 2%. You hit Star Diamond, you're in the top 1% of the company, right? Because nobody is doing that. Nobody's doing what you're doing. A lot of it, you got to remember, 250,000 coaches, but how many discount coaches are there? Right?
Mm-hmm.
How many people are on the call like this? How many people are listening to personal development? How many people are doing the 3 vital behaviors every day? Right? Not many. You guys are here. You guys are top coaches. You are. And within time, your numbers will show it. I had a question. What kind of numbers means top 10%? Exactly. It's like I said, if you're hitting Success Club, you're the top 10%. It's very simple. If you're at Success Club 5, you're in the top 10%. And anything up and above you doing from there. For example, Benito, what your ranking? What was your ranking? Do you remember what your ranking was last month?
1,413.
1,413. She's been a coach since August. She's been a diamond since January. So she's already 1,400. So 1,400 of 250,000 coaches is what percent, right? Any of you guys can be there. Like, it's not saturated at all. You guys doing your business and inviting and helping others, you guys are the percent. You're in the top percent. Everybody on this call is already, in my eyes, a top percenter. Right? So yeah, don't even worry about the amount of coaches that keep popping up, because not everybody's doing what we're doing right now. So.
But the thing is you gotta have business card like Benita, and it does make business roll. And with me being out at Pikes Peak and stuff in Saskatchewan here, that helps her out on top of everything else.
Because he's handing out my business card.
Right, and that's just networking. That's all it is. There's to build your guys' network. There's so much you guys can do, right? You can do the business cards, right? Scotty used to plaster his car with Beachbody logos. Not everything works though. Remember that, right? You don't have to go plaster your car with Beachbody logos. Wear and share works. If you guys want to talk about networking right now, wear and share works. You know, get a P90 shirt, get a Body Beast sweater, get a P90X jacket, right? That stuff works. It's like Barton was saying, he's got Shakeology on his counter, right? And people are seeing it, right? So do whatever you guys want to do to brand yourself. That's what you're doing, is you're branding yourself at the end of the day. We're probably coming to the end. I'll just see if there's any more questions. When you hit diamond, they do let you know what rank you are. Yes. Once you hit diamond, you can actually see monthly what your elite standings are. And if you are hitting diamond, don't forget we have Scotty's diamond retreat. So if you're not part of that yet, talk to him. Get on that list of going to the retreat. I want you guys to come hang out in Punta Cana, because I'm going. Tara's going. Come if you guys are under Scotty's personal, then make sure you're on that, right? Chris, are you under Scotty's personal? Are you under Scotty's personal coaches? Okay.
Yeah, I actually contacted him.
Okay.
That was the weirdest thing ever. I had done 2 rounds of insanity, and then I was curious, because in the end, you know, they always tell you like, oh, you can win money, and I'm like, I'm in Dominican Republic. What can I do with that? And then I got curious, and more curious. And I'm like, okay, fine. Let's see what this is about. And since I already had experience with MLM, I thought, oh, this is something I can do, and I'm getting into fitness. I might just go for it. And when I saw Scotty's videos, it's like his personality is what drew me truly into it. And I sent him a message, and exactly 1 week after I sent him the message, boom, he responded. I'm like, oh, I'm in. I'm sold. And a week after that, that's it. I was in. Completely sold.
Yeah, so he has his diamond retreat in November, right? And his is in Punta Cana at the Bavaria Deluxe Palace, right? He's got all his coaches
yeah.
in like a week. Yeah, so if you have to be diamond, so hit diamond. If you're his personal sponsor coach, hit diamond. You're coming to hang out with us.
Yeah, diamond is 8 people under you, right?
I'm sorry?
How many people are under diamond?
8 and then 2 emeralds on an emerald on each leg.
That's right. You need 8 coaches in total, and 2 an emerald on each leg. Yeah, you can do it. He did his in 14 days. You guys can do it, and it doesn't matter. You have 6 months to hit it, right? There's no reason why you guys can't be. Everybody on this call, there's no reason why you can't be a diamond. None. The hardest part is just building your team, getting your other 2 coaches to emerald. That's it. That's the hardest part, right? But if you explain it properly, it's
enter.
What's that?
And hitting send with the messages.
And hitting send. That's the hardest part. That's it. Just do it, right? So
invite.
That's it. You guys got it. Like, this was a great call, because you guys all answered your own questions, right? You guys all answered them. Everybody had an input, and that's what I wanted this call to be about. I wanted it just to come together, as a group and just come together and, you know, feed off each other, because I'm hoping you guys wake up tomorrow morning or even tonight, you guys are inspired. It's like, okay, I'm going to hit send 10 times. Right? That's
Oh,
what
I'm with. Soon as I stop driving.
there you go. Right? So, you know, that's what this call was all about, guys. I'm glad you can jump on it. I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss any questions. And make sure I didn't miss anybody's. Just see. Jeannie's still on here, and she did have a question. I just got to flip to my Facebook for a second. We'll finish off with these two, so we're not keeping you guys all night. She says, I have a hard time keeping my challenges motivated and involved in the group. I feel like it's just me posting all the time. Any suggestions? Yes. She says she doesn't want to be a babysitter and she doesn't want to call them out. One thing you need to get over with, you need to call them out. You're their coach. That's your job. Don't be afraid to do it. Whether they respond or not, that's not your problem. But you have taken them on, so you want to call them out, right? You want to show as much value to people as you can. I've done a couple of things. One, I've added my other coaches to my challenge groups. Okay, so in the beginning, when I was really going, I had Benita. I still add Tara and Benita to all my challenges, because it's not just me talking. So you can add other coaches to your challenge groups to help you do that, right? I can do one post. Tara can do another post. Benita can add a recipe. It just gets the motion going, right? So don't be afraid to utilize your coaches. And you can do it that way by saying, guys, we're going to do a 21-day fix on the 30th, okay? Everybody sign up 2 coaches or sign up 2 challengers for the 21-day fix, and we'll do this as a team. You've got already, let's say you got 3 or 4 coaches doing this. So you got 3 or 4 people that are already ready to interact with the group, okay? The biggest problem with groups is people are afraid to step out of the comfort zone, right? If you can do that with your small network of coaches, people will start responding to your challenge groups. Don't be afraid to ask them to do that. Say, hey, guys, I want you guys to post one motivational quote today, right? And you're going to see who those people were. Not everybody's going to do it. It's going to happen. You're not going to be able to get everybody on board with it, but you will see that some will. And those are the ones you want to keep an eye out for too, because you never know, they could be your future coaches, right? So that's my recommendation. Add a couple of your own coaches, Jeannie, and get them to help you with the group, with the interaction, right? You guys can interact as coaches, but they don't need to know that, right? Second of all, if you're having a hard time, call them. Get on the phone and call them. Nothing's better than a phone call. Hey, neighborhood beach body coach. I know I did it just a couple of weeks ago. It's your neighborhood beach body coach, Shawn. Where the hell have you been? Right? So don't be afraid to call people out. That's what you do. That's what we're here for, guys. We're here to help people, right? And I tell you, if they answer the phone, they're shocked that you called, but they appreciate that you called because you're there for them, right? We're not selling packages. We're selling ourselves. And at the end of the day, we want to do whatever we can to help people change their lives, right? So if it's a quick phone call, make that quick phone call, right? People are more likely to answer the phone than they will send a message on Facebook. So hopefully that helped. And I know she had one other question. Just give me 1 second. Tara laughs at me all the time if you guys didn't read that last message. Okay, so I've had a lot of people that I've been talking to for months about a program, sending them links, and then they send me a message saying, hey, I got the 21-day fix in the mail today. And I say, awesome. Then I look at my customer orders and find out they ordered through Beachbody and not Team Beachbodies. Okay, so she supports them anyways. Should I be more bold about saying, order from me? I don't want to come salesy. So my answer to that, one thing you guys can do is get people to sign up under your free account. That's what it's for. Take advantage of Beachbody On Demand if you're having that problem. They get it for 30 days, but what it does is automatically makes you guys their coach, right? Who doesn't like free? If you're talking to someone, you know they're showing interest. I do it all the time. I will give someone the free membership sign up right away, because whether they buy from me now or whether they buy from somewhere in 7 months, coming through me at the end of the day. If they go through Team Beachbody or just the Beachbody site and you find out, you can always reach out to them. They'd have to make a phone call to Team Beachbody and get you the credit or make you their coach, right? But that's where all the follow-up comes up. And it does happen. It sucks. Sometimes you get people that end up going under someone else, right? But that's where you guys got to take advantage of now. Beachbody On Demand, the 30-day trial, that automatically makes them your customer, as well as the free membership automatically makes you their customer. And then not only are they your free customer, but then you have access to them, right? If they want, they can opt out, but for the most part, a lot of people don't. So you can send e-cards about upcoming programs like Size that's just coming out in July with the new Shawn Dance workout, right? You guys can take advantage of that. So hopefully that answers your question. That's what I do. I as many people as I can, I get them to sign up with the free account. That being said, guys, thanks for the call. I think we can wrap up. That was a long call. I'm glad you guys stayed on, and I'll put up the recording if you guys want to share it with your team. It'll probably take a little while to render because we're almost on 2 hours. But I had fun, and I hope I answered some of you guys' questions. And I hope you guys learned something. And thank you for everybody that actually helped everybody else on this call, because that's what it was about, us just bonding as a team and going to the next level together. And that's at the end of the day. So hopefully you guys learned something. Other than that, you guys have a great night. Peace.
Thank you. You too.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Have a good night, everybody.